just live on air. I'm going to switch over to the intro and we're going to get going. Yo, what's going on? I am Spartacris. Welcome to a live trailer reaction for Venom 2, Let There Be Carnage. And I'm joined today by my man ScytheX from the Generational Gaming and Entertainment Network. Scythe, say what's up.
Yo, what up, everybody? I'm excited. Let's get into this.
So I know this is just a teaser, but before we jump into the trailer, I already have it queued up. Real quick, did you see the first one?
Absolutely.
All right, that sounds like you enjoyed it. So I want to hear real quick. I want to hear your opinion on the first movie.
Okay, so yes, I did enjoy it. I thought, considering our only taste of live-action Venom was that horrible Spider-Man 3 movie.
Yeah, you mean Topher Grace? That wasn't Venom. That was just Topher Grace.
Yes. I thought the CGI, the look of them, everything felt more Venom in this movie. So I thoroughly enjoyed that. Tom Hardy, now let me say, there was a lot of good things he did, but it was kind of weird the way he talked and kind of like it was too maybe too psychotic of him, just seeming like a crazy person.
I don't disagree.
So that was kind of strange, and it's funny. I hated the way that people would say symbiote in the original trailer,
right?
And it sounded like they corrected it in the movie because they didn't say it like that in the movie.
No, I agree. But, I think that was a whole storyline. I'm pretty sure I saw some headlines where they corrected that.
Yeah.
I will say,
how did they say it?
Symbiote is how the scientist says it.
Symbiote or and then they changed it to symbiote or something like that.
Yeah. I will say that I don't disagree. I think Tom Hardy is a good choice to play the character. Definitely better than Topher Grace, but I thought he was a little too manic and a little too like bipolar. Yep. Although he made it work. Honestly, he was one of the best parts of the original movie. And I will say, Topher Grace's Venom in Spider-Man 3, it didn't look the worst. It could have looked so much worse than it did. It actually looked pretty good. I felt they just had the wrong actor playing him. They squeezed him into a movie that really didn't even need him, and I was glad they tried to do the character justice. Now, having said that, though, I felt on the first one they definitely missed the mark. I didn't like that in the end the bad guy fighting Venom, Legion what the hell was his name? Whatever his name was, it was just kind of, they were basically the same color. It was too dark, too CG heavy, and me personally, I'm a Venom kind of classic Venom as an enemy of Spider-Man. I don't mind him being the anti-hero that he becomes, but I feel like the best way to introduce him has to be, going against Spider-Man, and then you have the two of them team up to fight Carnage and earn that respect. And that's a huge storyline that I feel like, these Hollywood producers are missing the boat in the live-action realm, because that could be a giant storyline for Spider-Man movies in general.
Yeah, I'm curious in this movie, what's going to drive him to come to New York, because even in the comics, Eddie Brock is in San Francisco, or I think it was San Francisco, somewhere on the West Coast. And he did his thing out there or whatever. But the beauty of Venom is his altercations with Spider-Man.
Right, I agree.
Just the way the two of them go at it, even Spider-Man getting the symbiote and him turning into the black suit Spidey, like that whole storyline, the Maximum Carnage storyline is one of the best comic book storylines I've ever read.
I couldn't agree more.
It was like a 4-inch graphical novel, the whole series of Maximum Carnage, and I read through it all. Like,
I mean, I remember the Maximum Carnage video game got me excited because you got to play as Venom for the first time
on Super Nintendo.
I just think that Venom's a good like game, kind of idea.
That game,
sorry.
No, I was just gonna say that game, Maximum Carnage, started Venom in the West Coast. So they lined up the movie with that like storyline.
And then yet we can't get a Hollywood producer to put it on live action. I just don't understand.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. It just didn't make sense. And I agree with you that having Venom's first villain, quote unquote villain,
I don't think it was
being
Legion.
Another symbiote was very strange.
It was a strange choice.
Yeah, it was very strange considering that Venom should be the villain. Like this should have been like a villain heavy movie of him just going nuts and just breaking laws and going wild.
Because you have to establish that he's not. It's not. He doesn't start off good. It's okay if he becomes good later on.
Yep.
And we know that Marvel needs more of these anti-hero like villain redemption stories. But I also think that Venom works best when it's almost a hint or a glimpse into what Spider-Man could become if he really just allowed himself to let loose, and it shows you that he's always in control. So, but anyway, so you have the video up and ready to go?
I do.
All right,
real quick.
Go for it.
We've talked about Venom and everything, but just your general thoughts on the Carnage character, because in my eyes, he's one of the most legendary villains of all time in Marvel.
I feel like in the comic books, they haven't yet even tapped the potential that Carnage could bring to the comic books. I feel like the idea of the Venom symbiote or however you want to say it, being attached to someone as crazy as him, it could rival the Joker in the DC books.
That's what I was gonna say. Like Carnage to me is if the Joker got the symbiote.
Yeah, I mean, and I think that's the whole idea, but they haven't gone there yet. They haven't just pulled that trigger or I don't know, had the balls to really go all the way with it.
He's such an interesting character to me, and
100%.
Every time you get to see him in the comics or even on the cartoons or whatever, he just brings a different element.
Hell yeah.
It's awesome. I can't wait to see him in this.
So I know this is a teaser. I'm going to count down to 3, and then we're going to start watching this. You ready? On 3, I'm going to click the button. All right?
Yep.
All right, ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3. I will say that the visuals on Venom, they really did a good job.
Yeah. Yep.
I say neither, and I say neither. Let's call the whole thing off. Ta-da! Catch up.
What the hell?
So they're clearly leaning into the comedy of the character.
Yeah.
But see, that's a fine line. If they go too much into the comedy, they can ruin it.
Good evening, Eddie.
Hey, yeah, they can't do it too much.
Venom.
Mrs. Chen.
He says hi.
See, I don't know if I like that. Venom saying hi to the shopkeeper.
Yeah. It's too evil.
I will tell you though, Woody Harrelson playing Carnage or Cletus, I think is his name, is freaking a great choice. He knows how to play Psycho.
Yeah. He can be funny and serious. I mean, he's perfect.
Who do we leave behind? And how do we leave them? Waiting in the darkness for the rescuer who never comes.
Crushing a spider, interesting.
Yeah.
It's been a long time. Miss you so much.
Oh, that's so good.
He does have the stare down already.
Yes.
Soon come chaos.
So how does he get the Carnage though? I guess they'll explain that in the movie.
At all.
Chaos soon come.
Yes.
He looks good, man.
Yes. let there be carnage.
The chocolate delivery hasn't arrived yet.
No!
We had a deal.
What's gonna happen? You gonna stop protecting me?
I am happy to eat, Mrs. Chen.
Oh my God, I don't like that.
Mrs. Chen.
Yeah, I don't either.
What? Nothing?
God damn, does that fucking look good? See, this is my thing. Like, I'm so much more interested in seeing Carnage and Venom in a Venom movie.
I agree, and that's not a good thing. That means they're making a mistake. They do have the Carnage character looking right, but it means they're making a mistake.
They're leaning too much into Venom having like a personality. I don't understand it.
I agree. It doesn't. I don't know. I mean, I know in some of the more recent comics, Venom does have more of his own personality, and it's almost like a separate identity from Eddie Brock.
Yeah.
But again, I feel like you have to build to it.
Early for that,
right? You can't just go right into it. The whole idea is that the symbiote becomes obsessed with Peter Parker because of the power he has and the strength and all that stuff. Right. He gets rejected, so he uses Eddie to essentially get his revenge and kind of go on from there. Right. I feel like that's such an important part of Spider-Man's upbringing or experience as a hero, and they're skipping it completely. And I don't understand why. I mean, I know it's all political red tape. Basically, Sony owns Venom. They don't want to give him to Marvel. They know they have money on their hands. Yeah, but I can't understand.
Which I still think these characters are going to appear in the MCU in some fashion.
I hope they do, and I'm hoping that at the very least, when we get to the next major Avengers movie, and next Endgame, whatever they want to call it, it's almost like as a surprise they bring everybody, MCU, Sony, Fox, just
break out the Rolodex and just call everybody.
Yeah, I know. That's kind of what I'm hoping for.
Yeah.
So I mean, it looks good. It looks good. It looks entertaining.
Yeah, I'm gonna say I do not like how Carnage becomes Carnage. That seemed strange to me.
It does seem strange, but they didn't show us a lot. It's very possible that maybe a piece of Venom's symbiote, leaves. Maybe he's there when he's about to get killed or something, and it attaches itself somehow. It seems like so they hinted at Carnage or Cletus having some sort of history with Eddie Brock. I don't know that he knows that he's got the symbiote or what happened, but I guess we'll have to just wait and see, honestly. I mean, it's not too much longer before the movie's finally available to watch, so.
Oh, so, all right. So, rewatching, it looks like he's being put to death.
Right.
He's getting a lethal injection, and the symbiote got inside of it.
Maybe the symbiote almost sees the craziness in him or the evil in him, and it's sort of like, what's the word? Like attracted to the power.
Yeah, I thought they were directed at first watching. It was like direct injection of the symbiote, and I was like, that's kind of weird. I didn't like that. Oh, yeah. Because, but after rewatching it for a second, he's being put down basically, and the symbiote goes to save him, I guess.
Yeah, so I guess the real question is, why would the symbiote want to save him from dying?
Like, what's the piece that broke off of Venom to make that?
Because there's got to be. It can't just be. Yeah. It
can't just come from a random thing. It has to be a bastard child of Venom.
Oh, we got a couple of follows here. I'm just noticing on our feed, so that's good. Thank you for the follows, everybody. That was the Venom Let There Be Carnage trailer. Thank you for jumping in. Those who jumped in to watch. And keep an eye out for ScytheX, myself, Spartacris. We got the Captain and One Shot streaming on Twitch, YouTube, Facebook. We're on TikTok. We're on Discord. We're all over the place. Make sure you like and subscribe. Join the groups. Let us know what you want to see. Let us know, what games you want us to go head-to-head in. We're working on a lot of things coming forward. And keep an eye out. GG, everybody. Scythe, thanks for jumping in. GG, my man. Man. For anyone who's interested, I'm going to be signing on within the next 10 minutes or so and continuing my horror trek through Resident Evil 8, The Village, which I'm kind of nervous about already.
I would watch, but I don't want to be spoiled.
Hey, if you're going to play it, then I'm going through all of it. So.
Oh, yeah, I've been seeing a little bit of the game, and it looks awesome.
You got to stay off YouTube. Just the thumbnails people use on YouTube are ruining some big things. So. All right, guys. Thanks so much, and we'll see you next time. I'll be here tomorrow at 8:30 also talking about some movies, some entertainment news, some reviews, a lot of stuff going on.
Peace, everyone.